Making amends. In approaching step 8 in our amends list, we should have a more balanced perspective of what happened to us as children and what we are responsible for as adults. Without this balanced step work in the preceding 7 steps, most adult children will take on too much responsibility for their actions as children and as adults. Others will ignore the amends process and remain mired in self-pity or protracted guilt that leads to further deterioration of the body and mind. By working the amends steps, step 8 and 9, we are not letting our parents off the hook for their behavior, nor are we taking an attitude about our childhood abuse that would excuse or protect our own selfish behavior as adults. We do not allow fear of uncomfortable situations to block us from making amends. ACA experience shows that amends build the character and inner strength that can only be wrought by going through the process. In making our amends list in step 8, we work closely with our sponsor or counselor to determine the exact nature of our amends. We look at the concepts of forgiveness and self-forgiveness. Many adult children blame themselves for passing on their childhood abuse to their own children. We must understand that we could not have turned out differently as parents. We simply repeated what was done to us because it was all we knew. This is not an excuse, but a fact. With this knowledge, we begin to entertain the possibility of self-forgiveness in step 8. Self-forgiveness is an elusive concept for adult children. We ask that the adult child keep an open mind and consider that God has already forgiven the person. God is waiting for the adult child's acceptance of such a blessing. We realize that we are practicing the concept of self-forgiveness when we hear ourselves talking about being gentle with ourselves. With such an attitude, we learn to protect our emerging inner child, or true self, when we make amends to parents or relatives who could still be in denial about their family dysfunction. We go into such amends knowing our inner child is listening, but also knowing we are attempting to correct our damaging behavior as adults. We know we have made mistakes based on bad information from childhood, but we are focusing on our behavior and our need to change. We don't make excuses for our behavior, yet self-forgiveness gives us a gentler view of who we are and what we are trying to change in our lives. We nurture our inner child by forgiving ourselves and turning over our parents and children to God, as we understand God. Some incest victims have struggled with forgiving an offending parent or caregiver. We urge these children to speak with other ACA members to find a solution that works for them. Some parents are so dangerous and sick that the adult child must avoid them to remain safe and sane. Surely we would think twice about asking an incest victim to make amends to a perpetrator, father, mother, or other relative or caregiver. The actual amends may be to protect ourselves and to know that we have done nothing wrong. At the same time, many other abused adult children believe that the healing process for them cannot be complete until they forgive their worst offenders. This process is not always simple, but it is possible to forgive a sick parent and to find peace. Forgiveness does not mean that the parent's behavior was proper or excusable. It means we learn to live freer lives by discharging old trauma in a safe manner. In step 9, there are a variety of amends for a variety of people and relationships. Some amends require a simple apology, while others will require changed behavior that can only occur over time and with step work, meeting attendance, and the help of a higher power. In some amends, we must pay back money we have stolen or squandered. Other amends are living amends, which will require us to leave people alone. Amends to a deceased parent or friend can involve writing that person a letter. We read the letter out loud to our sponsor or ourselves. We can usually find a way to make an amends if we pray and seek guidance.